about the project. And we're starting the presentation now. Thank you. And thank you all for hearing this appeal. We need to repave our parking lot. And here's reasons why. The parking lot is our welcome mat. This is what any visitor, when they first come to St. Andrews, sees and feels as they drive in their car. Welcoming begins in our parking lot. Next. So it's about being good host and hospitality. First impressions are lasting impressions. And what does the condition of our parking lot say about our welcome and hospitality today? And what you see is a lot of broken pavement. You feel bumps when you drive in. I did today. And it's deteriorating. So, I mean, what does it say about our hospitality? So, but what we want our parking lot to say, welcome everybody to our church, including those with impaired mobility. And a newly paved parking lot and driveways will be far more welcoming than what we have today. And it's also about stewardship and safety. We want our parking lot to say that we are good stewards of what God has given us. We take care of our property. We want our parking lot to be safe for everyone who comes to our church. If somebody stumbles on some of this broken pavement, it's a safety concern. It'll be good for our church members and our visitors, Head Start, citizenship mentoring, ESL clients, food pantry clients, all neighbors who attend Corn Fest or any other event at church. We have a lot of people coming here. And there is need to act now. If you look, it just needs to be done. We need to take care of things. If you look for the parking lines in the lot, you'll have trouble finding them. They're pretty faint. There's loose gravel, there's broken pavement, potholes, and these aren't just unpleasant, they're safety concerns. And even the village of Carroll Stream has written us telling that the condition of our lot is not up to code anymore. So there's need to act. The need to fix our lot and driveways has been recognized for some time, but the size and expense of the project, it's a big project, has led us to defer acting on it. But for the reasons given here, we can't defer taking action any longer. We need to get going. Let us be good hosts, good stewards, and good neighbors. It's time to take on the task of getting our lot repaved and thereby putting out a new welcome mat for all the people that come to St. Andrew. So it's kind of ties into our mission statement, to love God, to love God and love our neighbor. So we open our doors, our hearts, our minds, and our parking lot to all. So now about the project. First thing, how much is it going to cost? Oh boy. We have a bid for $178,468. We have other bids too. We've gotten bids from 3 contractors. But all of them have told us we should add more because, about 30% more because of stuff they may find once they get into the work, contingencies. The biggest factor is some of the aggregate stone beneath the asphalt may need replacing, but they won't know until they take the old pavement off. But that would be an extra cost because the substrate, the aggregate, if the base isn't stable and they put down new pavement, then it fails quickly again. And so there's testing to be done to make sure that that's not an issue. Other things could come up, and inflation is a factor. The longer we wait, the more it costs. And for all these reasons, we're setting our fundraising goal at $225,000. So what work will be done? The pavement on both driveways here and the lot will be completely removed and replaced. The base aggregate will be leveled, recompacted, and replaced in some areas if needed. Again, that's that contingency. Two layers of asphalt will be put down, a base layer and a finish layer. The parking spaces will be striped. Handicap signage is included. And we're also including seal coating and striping 1 year later. Another part of this, it will be a new handicap parking pad. We're going to add 4 spaces over here just outside the main door on the opposite side of the driveway for improved handicap parking. Right now, our handicap spaces are way out there and people generally don't use them. They park along the driveway. So we'll actually have parking spaces there. And two spaces, there'll be 4 spaces. 2 will be marked and signed as handicap spots, and 2 will not. And so this will allow people with mobility issues who don't have a handicap placard to park there as well. And we'll also have a third handicap spot that will remain in the current location. But think of these new handicap spots as a ministry to help those who need it. Another improvement we're making is that where the garbage dump is out there, where the garbage truck comes, there's 2 ruts in the pavement from the weight of the truck. So we're going to put concrete there, a thick concrete pad that'll bear the weight of the garbage truck, so it holds up a lot better than what we've got. But there's 2 ruts. If you drive across them, they're kind of like speed bumps. But we want this job to be done right. If we're going to do this, let's do it right. And all the bidders we've talked to have recommended putting concrete there. And I haven't asked them, should we put concrete there? I show them the spot. They say, what do you think? What should we do here? And they say, put concrete. So this is an overview of the project. But all the spaces outlined in yellow is all the asphalt that will be replaced. So it's both driveways. You know, the north driveway coming in from Black Hawk, there's some new pavement that the village put in. The start of our work will be there, all the lot, and then the driveway going out to Gary Avenue. And the new handicap spot, it's not quite in the right spot. I'd shift it a little bit to the left so the center lines up with the concrete walk coming out of the door. And the concrete pad is over there by the garbage corral. It'll be a little bit longer, 12 foot wide by 30 feet long. But that's an overview of the work that'll be done. And when do we want to do it? Ideally, next summer, once Head Start is out and before Corn Fest. Wouldn't it be nice to have this in place? And they tell us it'll take a week to 10 days to do the work. So in closing, at least my part, I'm going to ask Eric to step up here in a minute. There's no denying this is a big, huge project for us to undertake. But the good news is, as Eric mentioned previously, we've already had substantial donations, 99,000, 100,000. But now we need your help to get us the rest of the way there. And I think together we can do this. Erica? Okay. And at this point, I'm going to pass out forms that you can use for making your pledges. And Erica will talk about them. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. I don't think anybody could have explained our situation better than Dave did right there. We've known for a while that the parking lot needs to be addressed. So this is something that we've had to take a good hard look at. So, Steve, I think I have another slide after this one, yeah. So basically, as we were saying, if you take a look at the entire parking lot campaign, we are currently, I think we're probably pretty close to 45% funded at this point. Okay, it says 44, we're at 45. And if you think about it, that's pretty impressive to start a campaign off right away, already being almost halfway to our ultimate goal. So what we have done is we are looking at figuring out how to fund the other 56%, that $125,000 that I mentioned earlier. Obviously, we're looking at gifts and pledges to give to the capital campaign. Now, this is different from your normal church giving. We still have to pay for the utilities, folks, so please don't think that this is instead of, this is your second mile giving. This would be in addition to, and we understand that sometimes that's not always possible, but we also want to, make sure that people are aware that it's not an instead of, this would have to be in an addition to, because we still have to meet our own budget needs here in the church. Our goal is that, you either make a gift or you pledge to give for a parking spot. And we kind of joke when we say you're buying a parking spot, but you're not buying any parking spots. If you consider that one spot is $2,500, there's probably like 52 spots out there. We're adding an additional 4. We could divide it all out if you wanted to do the fine numbers, but because my math was needing to be fast, we're going to say one spot is $2,500, okay? So what we're hoping to see is we're hoping to see 2 families or individuals or friends buy 6 spots, $15,000. 3 families or friends to give $10,000, which is 4 spots. More families to donate for 2 or 3 spots. And again, 1 spot being $2,500. Maybe you can only give for a half a spot or a quarter of a spot. The point is we're asking you to give what you can, because that we feel that somehow, some way, if we were to break down $2,500 by 12 months in a year, that number doesn't seem quite so bad. If you break it down by 52 weeks in a year, it's really not unachievable. So we're asking and we're hoping that you will give this thoughtful and prayerful consideration, and that ultimately this, it sounds really weird to say, but this new parking lot can be a benefit of all to us and a bright future for St. Andrew, because I have to tell you, when I was church shopping, did I look at the condition of the building itself or the parking lot? Yeah, you bet I did, because if that church was really beaten up, is that a church that I want to spend an extended amount of time at? Is it going to be there that long? And I'm not saying we're closing. Please don't misread what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if we want people to come and join us in prayer and celebration of God and Jesus, we need to have a way for people to come in and see that this is a great place to do that at. And I think, believe it or not, that a new parking lot does send that message. So with that, I turn it back to Dave.
And I see Pastor Deborah wants
So the technical question, so I write this card and then put it in the tree, or how it
Yeah,
works?
you can do that.
You can do that, or you can put it in the offering, like either way.
Where is the kind of clip? Technical question. Oh, like that. You are so simple. Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
But thank you, everybody. I mean, we know this is a big ask. I mean, I've never stood in front of people and asked for this kind of money before. But, I mean, this is for our church, and to send a message that we are here and we're going to be here. Are there? Yeah, I'll take a couple questions, and if it runs long, you can ask me anytime. But are there any questions? Barbara?
I just have a story to tell about the parking lot. A few years ago, Bob Burrell was walking on the sidewalk, and he was going over to his car, which was parked on
the village, it's beyond our control, but the village dictated that, and there's a reason. Yeah, it's kind of unpleasant to drive over, but there's a reason for it. There's two sewer drains this side of that pump. And that pump is there to keep water, so that water runoff from our lot and driveways goes down those drains and doesn't go down Blackhawk and cause flooding in the lower parts of the street by the homes there. And that's the reason for that.
It's a lot bigger than it was now than it was last year.
Yes, and that's what the village told the contractors to do. So yeah, it's. Yeah, it's, it is what it is, but I mean, we can, at least we can control the condition of our road and make it a lot better.